If those 2 minutes looked interesting to you, then there's a good chance that you will enjoy this game. Because it's exactly what you're getting, fast-paced gameplay with a good synthwave soundtrack. For anyone who is still undecided, you might want to hear some more details about the game. The best selling point for Rifter is the movement system, which starts out very basic, allowing you only to run, jump and use your hookshot, but just keeps escalating with new abilities the longer you play. Some of them get unlocked by playing through the story, and others can be bought with the shards you get from completing levels and extra challenges. Those challenges are also where I had the most fun with the game, because it gave you a reason to replay levels, and the levels were always more enjoyable on consecutive runs. Because you weren't bumping into every possible wall and already knew what was coming ahead of you. That's when the movement system can really shine, when there are no surprises and it's all just about skill and timing. Trying to shave off every possible millisecond to get below a certain time for a challenge felt incredibly rewarding to me. There's also some good variety to those challenges, like trying to keep a combo for as long as possible, or completing a level with a certain amount of hookshots, or even things like the floor is lava. The main focus outside of those challenges is to be as fast as possible, and the game was clearly designed around a speedrunner mindset. For example, the built-in leaderboard that you can unlock, where you can look at the top runs and even run against their ghost if you feel like making yourself sad. I get why it's an optional thing. There's an incredible amount of mastery to the movement system, and the game allows you to push the challenge as high or as low as you want. The game has an easy mode, where it runs at a lower speed and you can see the curve of your hookshot before releasing it, but there are even more options outside of that. The game has 3 endings, and they all require a different level of mastery to reach. You also never locked out of the other endings, so you can go back and do the other 2 if you're not satisfied with the first ending. Mastering the movement system mostly comes down to how good you are with the hookshot. Planning your position and speed before entering the hook, timing the start and release of it, using your movement keys to speed up the swing, and you can also unlock the drop ability to generate more speed and gain more control in the air. You don't need to be a master at these things if you just want to beat the game. There are plenty of checkpoints, and overly precise swings are rarely needed if you're going for the first ending. The other 2 are quite challenging to get and have less room for mistakes. I'd also like to talk about the game's soundtrack, more specifically how the game implemented the songs. The songs themselves are all fantastic. I like that the songs aren't bound to a level and continue playing between them. The song will fade out at the end of a level while you're looking at your stats, and then fade back in during the transition to the next level. That might seem like a small detail, but it really helps to keep you in the flow of the game. What gets you out of the flow, however, is the tape stop effect of the song when you're getting hit, which is a bit overtuned in my opinion. Losing your momentum combined with the sound effect of the hit is already enough feedback in my opinion. I'd rather have the music continue playing instead of mocking me. Another issue I have with the soundtrack is the fact that the playlist always runs in order. If you're only playing the game in short bursts, then there will be some songs later in the playlist that you will never hear, but you will hear the early songs very often. That can make the playlist seem smaller than it really is. An option to shuffle the playlist would be amazing, but it isn't that big of an issue. You can already customize the playlist by choosing to skip certain songs, and the best song is already the second one that plays. I don't mind hearing that one often. I also like the game's approach on story. After completing the first planet, you will meet the character Minerva, who can give you answers in exchange for special shards. You can pick questions yourself depending on what interests you most and how many shards you gathered, which is a nice unintrusive way to deliver the plot. It also made the challenges more rewarding for me, because I was interested in getting the answers, and so I started to focus on the ones that give blue shards. There is a good amount of content in this game. It took me roughly 12 hours to reach the third ending, and the game tells me that I have 85% completion. You can get even more out of it than me, if you're the kind of player that likes to chase leaderboards. Thank you for watching.